Hey, happy Thursday, everybody. Mark again here, Weatherman Plus. Now, we're about to go into an extreme pattern. We do have severe weather today, tomorrow, and the next day for the south, for the storm that's coming now, and the storm that's coming to the northwest will bring precipitation. But we're about to be in this pattern for all of November where these storms are going to keep coming through the west, and a huge storm is brewing, according to the Euro as well as the GFS, bringing damaging winds, snowfall, and heavy rainfall for the Central U.S. Plus, this tropical wave that is in the Eastern Caribbean is still meeting up with this trough, bringing a lot of precipitation. But what we can see in the long range is not only does it have a chance to form still to something strong, but according to the Euro, this is going to be bringing this precipitation, this energy, into the south. We're going to have a big high pressure over the Gulf, and it's going to swing it right around and meet up with this huge storm. And this is what's going to create a lot of severe weather. And this big storm is going to be brewing in the very beginning of November, covering a lot of the West Coast. A big system coming in. And this is going to train like this all month long. So as you look with the Euro, you can see for today, we do have severe weather for today, tomorrow, as well as this next big storm that's coming. It is coming right in the beginning of November. Now, Euro is showing that it will be a cutoff low. It will be cut off from the jet stream, and it will be a cutoff low in the south while all this energy comes in from the Caribbean around this high pressure and feeds this storm from the wave that we're dealing with now. And it's bringing a lot of cold weather to the West Coast as well. And it's that time of year. So as you look at your temperatures, you can see with the Euro that it brings in a lot of very cold temperatures to the west side of the U.S. And we are talking some very cold temperatures, teen temperatures, negative temperatures in the blue. And when you look at the wind chills, it just gets even worse. Very cold air coming in the beginning of November, especially the wind chills. But you can see the systems meet up with the precipitable water. So as you look for today, you do have the storms in the south for tomorrow all the way till Sunday. All this precipitation coming through the Gulf of Mexico, creating a little bit of severe weather, chances for tornadoes as well. But as this next setup comes in and all this energy in the Caribbean goes to the west, goes around the high pressure, meets up with this system and creates another big severe weather event that will be coming in for the beginning of November. You can also see with the wind gusts. So you do have damaging winds for today, tomorrow, a little bit weaker as it goes to the east. All this bright green is 40s to 50s once you hit that yellow. But once you see this next system that comes in, it's going to cover the whole West Coast with 40s and 50s. A big storm system bringing a lot of snowfall, bringing rainfall to the Central U.S. and a lot of damaging winds. High 40s to 50s covering the whole west side of the U.S. and the Central U.S. It is all going to be high 40s and 50 miles per hour wind gusts coming with this system. Even 60 and 70 or even 80 for the higher elevations of Montana, and a lot of high winds for Canada. And you can see this setup when you look at your data, the East Pacific Oscillation right there on the West Coast. You can see that we start going into a trough, a ridge, a trough, a ridge, a trough. These are storm systems coming down every so often. And when you look long range with the Euro, you can see that our EPO, or East Pacific Oscillation, is going into a negative to a neutral, but it's dropping way down with a bunch of storms coming all through November, even the very beginning of December. This pattern is going to be around all November, hitting the West Coast, coming down to the South Central and the Central U.S., going up to the Upper Midwest and Ohio Valley. Now, this will be bringing a lot of heavy rainfall towards Washington, towards Oregon, but it's also bringing anywhere from a quarter of an inch to a half an inch all the way down California as well. So y'all know y'all need some rainfall. It's not a lot, but it will be bringing some rainfall, as well as what's going on in the South Central. As this system meets up with this energy, it's going to create more rainfall and serious flooding for the South. And it's bringing snowfall. So right when you see in the beginning of November, according to the Euro, as its cold temperatures come in, it's going to be bringing snowfall also for the west, as well as the higher elevations in the mountains. But this is bringing a lot of snowfall. This is going to be our next snowstorm. So you can see this on National Weather Service. So as you see your rainfall and the storms for today, for tomorrow, it's going to be more severe in the south, as well as your chances for your severe weather with your tornadoes. As you go into Saturday, as you go into Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, it brings all this rainfall, not a whole bunch. All this green is all about a quarter of an inch to a little bit less, but it is bringing some precipitation to the whole west side of the U.S. So the next 2 days of rainfall for the severe weather in the south, and all this pink is all getting up to 2 inches plus. This will be affecting Dallas and Houston as well. Next 3 days, it goes through the south, and it lightens up as it goes for the next 5 days. But that's when that system comes in on the west side of the U.S., and it comes all the way down the next 7 days. So just until Saturday evening, it is bringing rainfall to the northwest. All this blue is all half an inch, not much at all. You see the higher elevations will be getting more, but Washington, Oregon will be seeing rainfall. But the South Central is going to see a lot of rainfall from the severe weather y'all have. Anywhere from 1 to 2 plus inches, especially for Dallas and Houston, getting in on this rainfall. Southern Arkansas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. This is only until Saturday night. Now, I know y'all need rainfall in the south, and it is coming. Just be aware of the flash flooding. You do have a risk for flash flooding for today, for tomorrow, and Saturday as well. And there is severe weather in the south for Saturday. So for today, you do have storms in all this green as well as for Florida, but you do have chances for wind and hail, but your tornado threat is a 2% chance in Texas for today. Now this includes Del Rio, Texas, Kerrville, Texas, Brownwood, Texas, Uvalde, Texas, and Fredericksburg, Texas. This is for the tornado threat for today. Now tomorrow for Friday, this is going to ramp up your chances for tornadoes. You do have chances for wind as well as hail, but your tornado threat is a little bit more escalated for tomorrow for Friday. So your 5% chance for tornadoes for Friday is Victoria, Texas, Lake Jackson, Texas, Angleton, Texas, Bay City, Texas, and Beeville, Texas. The 2% also includes San Antonio, Texas, Corpus Christi, Texas, Laredo, Texas, Brownville, Texas, and Sugar Land, Texas. Then as you go into Saturday, you do have chances for severe weather in the deep south as this system moves through. So your severe weather risk for Saturday is New Orleans, Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Mobile, Alabama, Jackson, Mississippi, and Metairie, Louisiana. Now, just going by high resolution rapid refresh, because it is a high resolution model, Euro and GFS is not a high resolution model. You can see in the next 48 hours, as this first one comes in, it does bring severe weather to the south. And as it goes through Friday and Saturday, it does strengthen up for Texas, and it does go to the southeast as well by Saturday morning. And you also can see with your lightning strikes, there will be a lot of storms and chances for large hail in this white. As you go through today, as you go through tomorrow, it's going to go further south into Texas with all these lightning strikes, all these thunderstorms right past Houston, also Dallas, and it will carry in for Saturday also for the deep south with some thunderstorms and lightning and chances for hail out of that. Now, so far, HRRR is picking up 40 and 50 miles per hour wind gusts for New Mexico, Texas, some of Oklahoma, and Kansas as it transitions to the south and the southeast. But the winds do die down as it moves further to the east, and so does the strength. You can see with your cape, with your lift, that you do have a lot of chances for thunderstorms today, even chances for tornadoes, because you do have a lot of lift in the area. For tomorrow, this is going to move further south with more lift in southern Texas, from San Antonio right by Houston. So there is chances for tornadoes for tomorrow, a little bit stronger chance than today. Now you can see there is going to be storms for today, even snow in the higher elevations for Colorado and New Mexico. But as we go into tomorrow, then it's really going to brew up some serious storms for Oklahoma, for Texas, and you do have chances all evening long, and it will be all night long going through Houston right there and going through Dallas as well, all the way until tomorrow night. Then it's going to go to the southeast. I will update this again in the morning. NAM 3K is always off on the information. It's not reliable. If you ask me, it's always different than HRRR, which is the best high resolution model. But you can also see with your shear that as you go into tomorrow, it is a bigger threat, especially with the shear trying to get rotation on these storms. So you can see as the winds come in that there's not a lot of cells popped out in front with a lot of white on it. So it will be embedded cells that will create these tornadoes. So just be aware, it's not easily forecasted. It will be a big wind event, but there could be some cells popped into this high wind that could create these tornadoes. So just be aware you do have some possible sleeper cells that could come with these tornado chances, especially for Friday. Now, even though you have chances for tornadoes today, I'm showing a stronger chance for tomorrow. So as you check your helicity tracks, which shows you these storms that have wind direction change with height, which is exactly what a tornado is, you can see as we go through tomorrow that you have a chance for some very strong cells passing through San Antonio all the way towards Houston. A very strong chance for a bad tornado for tomorrow. You also can see in the Caribbean, this system is still 40% next 48 hours, next 5 days. Now this does have a chance to strengthen up, maybe even be a tropical depression or a low-grade tropical storm for a minute as it moves to the east. But this trough that is creating is going to coincide with what's going in the Eastern Caribbean. It is at 50% chance in the next 5 days. For the first 5 days is bringing heavy rainfall, not really no winds. Once it gets to 5 days is where this system is going to ramp up. Now you can see the shot for this morning as you have this deep trough coinciding with this tropical wave, bringing a lot of moisture still towards Puerto Rico, also the Virgin Islands and the UK Islands, also for the Leeward Islands and Venezuela, ABC Islands, and the Windward Islands. It's bringing a lot of potential rainfall. Not really much for the Leeward Islands, but it is bringing a lot of rainfall for the rest of y'all for the next few days. And you can see the latest run with the Euro that it does get some kind of vorticity going as it goes towards Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, and this is within the next 4 days. But once it gets to 5 days, so far the update this morning is that it gets elongated and stretched out and forms back up somewheres by Jamaica and continues to go to the west. Goes right around this high pressure. Then as that huge storm comes in, you can see how it meets up in the south and it creates a severe weather in the south. And it all comes together, bringing a strong storm for the south. Now the waters in the Caribbean are warm and it still supports a tropical depression, any kind of storm forming up. But at the same time, when you look at your deep ocean heat content, you can see how you have a little bit right here in the Eastern Caribbean. It helps it strengthen up a little bit. But as it goes to the west, southwest, there's not a lot of deep ocean heat content right here, but it does start strengthening up right here by Jamaica and the Western Caribbean. This is where our strongest part of our Caribbean Sea is as far as the heat goes. So the system goes through this, it will start intensifying. So as we check for chances for a tropical depression with the Euro, you can see in 72 hours, it has a good chance, all the way up to 65, almost 70% chance of just a tropical depression. But you can see the path that all this energy is going right towards Central America, right towards Nicaragua, Honduras, and maybe sitting there in Central America for a while after that, because GFS is showing that after this forms, another one could form up and go back to the east, back to the Eastern Caribbean. But you can also see that there is a big problem with this area this system's going into. So there's not a lot of shear. The waters are warm. But there is a lot of dry air that is in the Caribbean and is giving this system problems. So you see as it forms up, it could bring some more precipitation, more rainfall towards Puerto Rico. A lot of dry air, even getting into the system a little bit. But as it travels further to the west, bringing more rainfall towards Dominican Republic, towards Puerto Rico, but it starts grouping back up towards Jamaica. It could bring some more rainfall towards Jamaica as it keeps going west, bringing more rainfall and precipitation towards Belize, El Salvador, Honduras, Nicaragua, even towards the Yucatan as this moves further to the north and gets together with this next system, bringing all this precipitation in front of this storm for Texas. Now, when you look for a chance for a low pressure, you can see with the Canadian that does have a chance to group up, become a surface low, even become a tropical depression, maybe a tropical storm for Nicaragua. Honduras stays pretty far to the south. But it also sits there and spins for 2 or 3 days right by the Western Caribbean, and that would bring a lot of precipitation to Central America. So please be aware there could be a stall effect. It's been showing a stall somewhere because of all these cold fronts. We need to narrow it down. You can also see with the NASA satellite that that tropical wave will eventually strengthen up right by Colombia and head to the west. And so far in 72 hours, getting a surface low right by Colombia, but it does strengthen up as it heads to the west. It goes all the way to a tropical storm, even to a hurricane as it goes to the Western Caribbean. Then it circles back It just goes all over the place. But this is sitting there in a possible stall, also possible 2 or 3 land interactions with this system. And this is a NASA satellite showing this growth. And the GFS. The GFS has always been wonky, but it really shows something wonky this morning. It shows it does make it in 4 days, get a surface low, and as it goes to the west, you see how it kind of weakens down a little bit, but it's still a strong system going towards Nicaragua. Honduras has been showing that for quite a minute. But then you see another surface low that forms up in the Eastern Caribbean right by Colombia, and it goes to the east, right back over to Leeward Islands, the Virgin Islands, also Puerto Rico, and strengthens up possibly. We've been seeing a second system forming for over a week now. But once again, you can see all the dry air that is getting around this system. It's not showing as bad as the Euro. That's why it has room to breathe. But the Euro shows that the dry air gets involved a little bit more than what GFS is seeing out of this system. So as we take a look at the ensembles and see what could happen out of this storm, you can see here in the control, remember that it does show it eventually does get a surface low by November 4th, and it does start strengthening up kind of like a stall and goes towards Jamaica by November 7th and goes towards the Western Caribbean, possibly forming something over there. But just the rainfall in the next 5 days, the Euro, the GFS, and the Icon all sees heavy rainfall coming, especially for Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, the Windward Islands, Trinidad and Tobago, as well as some of Venezuela. And you can see with the Icon and the Euro almost agree together. It brings a lot more rainfall towards Trinidad and Tobago, but it is bringing a lot of rainfall just in the next 5 days. But as far as the wind gusts, the next 5 days, I'm showing it's just going to be a rainfall event for y'all in the Caribbean. None of these are showing super strong winds for y'all. The Euro is still showing high 20s, maybe 30 miles per hour wind gusts coming with this system. After that, it's still kind of unknown. It's still going to be a wishy-washy wave, especially with this dry air. So I will keep you updated on the next 5 days every time. Psalm 11. In the Lord put I my trust. How say ye to my soul, flee as a bird to your mountain? For lo, the wicked bend their bow, they make ready their arrow upon the string, that they may privately shoot at the upright in heart. If the foundations be destroyed, what can the righteous do? The Lord is in his holy temple. The Lord's throne is in heaven. His eyes behold, his eyelids try the children of men. The Lord trieth the righteous, but the wicked and him that loveth violence, his soul hateth. Upon the wicked he shall rain snares, fire, and brimstone, and a horrible tempest. This shall be the portion of their cup. For the righteous Lord loveth righteousness, his countenance doeth behold the upright. Amen. God bless all of you today. Hope you have a very blessed day today. Keep your heart as strong as you can on the good things of life. Don't go towards the evil, the violence, especially the Halloween. You can't say you're a lover, a person of God, and you love God and celebrate the devil's day of Halloween. I know the young kids, you don't understand, but as you get older, you will. For those that say that you love God and celebrate Halloween, it's not true. You love in Halloween, you're loving the devil's ways. So I pray all of you to concentrate on that a little bit. It's really important not to celebrate this holiday if you are a lover of God. And once again, if you don't love God or his ways, don't worry about what I just said. Go about your ways and your outcome will be your outcome. But don't say you love God and you celebrate Halloween. Don't make yourself a liar. Have a very blessed day, everybody. All glory does go to Yahweh, God of Jacob, our Father. And may he give you all peace and strength to do the right thing. Amen. Hallelujah. Have a great day, everybody.